those that just came in, there are sandwiches over against the wall if you'd like one.
I'd like to call this meeting to order at 5:35 and ask my elder, Mary Waters, to say a prayer. Roll call.
Chief Chester Brooks.
Here.
Assistant Chief Bonnie Jo Griffin.
Here.
Secretary Nikki Michael. Here. Treasurer Benita Shane.
Here.
Member Annette Ketchum.
Here.
Member Nathan Young.
Here.
Member Michelle Hawley. Here.
I'd like to welcome all of our guests and tribal members again tonight. This is actually a special meeting, so only the items on the agenda can be addressed. So I would plead with my fellow tribal members, if you have a question or a comment to make, please at this time reserve it for the resolutions that we're considering at that particular time. Can I get a motion of the council to approve the agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor of the agenda as posted and written, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Unanimous. Do I hear a motion to approve resolution 2014-44?
I'll make that motion. And did you all get copies of the resolutions? Have you seen them? Okay. What are we doing? This is resolution 2014-44. I made a motion to approve it.
Second that motion.
Since there's many tribal members in the audience that may not have seen a copy of this resolution, would it be appropriate if our secretary actually read the resolution.
Resolution 2014-44. This is a resolution of the Tribal Council of the Delaware Tribe of Indians to set regular council meetings, dates, times, and places. Whereas the Delaware Tribal Council is authorized by Article 5 of the Constitution and bylaws of the Delaware Tribe of Indians to represent and act in all matters that concern the general welfare of the tribe. And whereas Article 5 of the Delaware Tribe of Indians Constitution and bylaws grants the Delaware Tribal Council the power to establish rules to regulate its own proceedings. And whereas the Delaware Tribal Council recognizes the importance of communication of the Tribal Council is in the best interest of the Delaware Tribe of Indians. And whereas the Delaware Tribal Council agrees sometimes a situation arises where the current policy does not meet immediate needs of the tribe. And now therefore it be resolved, the Delaware Tribal Council does hereby establish monthly Tribal Council meetings to be held the first and third Tuesdays of each month at 5:30 p.m. in the Bartlesville, Oklahoma, beginning December 16th, 2014.
Do I hear discussion on this motion and resolution?
Call for question.
If there's no discussion, call for the question has been made. All council members in favor of resolution 2014-44, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No abstentions. Can I hear a motion to consider resolution 2014-45?
Read it.
I'll ask the secretary to read the title of the resolution at least. We could probably, in interest of time, skip the first couple of whereases.
First four.
Alrighty. 2014-45, a resolution of the Tribal Council of the Delaware Tribe of Indians to assign the Chief, Secretary, and Treasurer as the only approval signatures on all of the DFMS financial accounts. The final, therefore, it be resolved, the Delaware Tribal Council does hereby assign all signing authority for the Delaware Facilities Management Solutions, LLC, to the Delaware Tribe of Indians Chief, Secretary, and Treasurer, effective immediately.
Make a motion. Sit down.
Motion's been made to adopt. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Discussion.
Call for question.
Question's been called. All in favor of the motion and resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And Nikki, if you, Chief, could bet you sign those tonight so that Gina can take them to the bank tomorrow.
May I hear a motion to discuss resolution 2014-46?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Resolution 2046, I'll read the title and ask our secretary to complete it. Is a resolution of the Tribal Council of the Delaware Tribe of Indians to mandate the return of all tribal assets by previous administration. Would you read the last whereas, Nick, again, and now therefore be it resolved?
Now therefore be it resolved, the Delaware Tribal Council does hereby require the return of all tribally owned equipment, computers, tablets, cell phones, etc., by all officials who were holding office on October 31st, 2014, but are no longer in that same capacity. Items need returned into the Tribal Operations Manager no later than 5 p.m. Friday, December 5th, 2014, or legal action will be filed. These items need returned with all data, regardless of personal or business, undisturbed. Any item put on a tribal asset immediately becomes the property of the Delaware Tribe of Indians.
Is there any discussion?
Are there still outstanding things, Chief? Are there some things that haven't been returned?
To my only knowledge of things not returned by the prior administration would simply be surface computers. What?
And the Mac.
Oh, and a Mac computer.
Oh, well, could you tell me who has those things?
Well,
I don't-
every council member.
Oh, those little pad things. Okay, but what's the MAC? Who has that?
I believe the previous secretary on the tribal council has that. Verna
Oh,
Crawford.
Verna. Oh, okay.
Do I hear
Yeah.
Verna's got it.
Vernon?
Chief Counsel, hello, it's on. Yeah, do I need to get real close? Yeah. Haven't been that friendly in anybody in a long time.
Too much information.
Chief and Counsel, I would like clarification. It is a tribal-owned computer. I've done both tribal and trust board on it. Would it be approved to be able to continue using it for the trust board minutes and such? I mean, it's available to the tribe anytime they want it.
Well, but I think our secretary needs it probably all the time. I would think maybe the trust board could purchase one for you.
Whatever is the direction of the tribal council.
Verna, I have also failed to tell you, I think they'd like that office space too.
When I was given that office space, it was for the trust board. And I assumed that it would continue to be an office for the trust board. A place for any of the committees to keep things on file. That has been my understanding all along.
But I think now the need is more for the council to have that.
Okay, I will.
Is that right? Nikki, you need it? Oh,
I thought you were going to be dividing Curtis's office into offices for the council.
Part of that, yes. But we also need that office.
Okay. I will get my personal things out of there this week.
Okay, thank you. I'll call for a question.
Question's been called. All in favor of the resolution being approved, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I abstain.
I am going to abstain on that too, since I am also the chairman of the trust board. And I know that Verna is at least partially right. That was assigned.
I agree with you, Chief.
I certainly think that the secretary of the trust board does need office space.
Well, what I was wondering, did they buy her that as the chairman of which committee? Was it of the trust board or was it
As
the
a secretary
council?
of the council.
So that's when they bought it for her as the secretary of the council.
Yeah, the trust didn't buy it, the council bought it. The tribe bought it.
Well, the trust has no money. And I thought anyway, the trust was part of the tribe, so what difference does it make? Why don't you just buy her one, Chad?
Well, I can't afford to buy one personally.
No, I don't mean you, as the tribe.
If the trust board.
We always have to make this, draw this line between the tribe and the trust board.
I
It shouldn't be.
I call for question.
We've already done it.
But
It's called for. They voted on it already.
did we vote on it?
Yes, you abstained and Ed's abstained.
Okay. Two abstentions.
I don't have 47 in mind. I have it in my other packet.
Did you give her a copy?
Oh, well, I had, never mind, I had the one I got on my email.
Okay.
Would the Secretary Michael please read resolution 2014-47?
Under now, therefore be it resolved, the Delaware Tribal Council does hereby resolve to dismiss all criminal charges brought against Thomas also by the Delaware Tribe of Indians.
I will make that motion.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Discussion.
I'll discuss it. I'd like to discuss it. This came as a surprise to me, and I made a lot of phone calls today. I think it's a bad resolution for our tribe to undertake to get involved with a Oklahoma District Court case. It's just not, I don't think it's necessary.
Our tribe is the one who started the case with the district attorney.
But look how far it's gone. It's
Right.
gone clear to the district court. It's out of our hands.
It's not. We have met with the detective who said it's not going to hold.
Oh, he's already passed it along to the prosecutor.
And we've talked, who said that?
Well, I have talked to the detective as well. I've talked to the attorney for Tommy. And
For who?
For Tommy also. The attorney. I've talked to somebody in the court, and it could go either way, but they're kind of depending on the tribe to intervene. And I just think we're making a mess of it, because what if he is found guilty and then we do that? It doesn't make us look very wise. And if we're going to err, let's err on the make ourselves look a little better instead of a little worse, in my opinion. As well as, well, I think I mean, if we're not going to charge somebody for a theft, what does that make us look like? We don't have any evidence, enough evidence to clear him. It's circumstantial. We don't have enough evidence to move forward and to file against somebody else. So we just take the hit. Are we going to always do that, just take the hit?
Absolutely not. My opinion is we're going to probably be looking at books and everything and probably filing other charges.
Well, and you know what? If you get enough evidence, you've got to have evidence here again. why don't we forget about this, let the chips fall where they may, and then take it up as a new issue to, we don't need to do this. Let the court take care of it. It's already gone that far.
Except we have a resolution on the floor.
Call for question.
I'd like to ask the audience, would somebody like to speak on this behalf of this issue? This is something our own courts can't handle, is criminal matters.
The question was called prior to your comment, Councilwoman Ketchum. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Abstentions?
She wanted to say something. Oh. I guess Ms. Arthur.
Pardon?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
Could I add, I want to add something else. I talked to Nathan Scalal today and told him that he,
It's not a question, point of order, there's not a motion on the floor.
We've already voted on that.
I know you have, but I just wanted to mention something to the audience.
Well, you can mention something to the audience, but we're operating on Robert's Rules of Order.
Okay, forget it.
I'll tell you later.
Could I would the secretary please read the title and therefore be it resolved of Resolution 2014-48?
A resolution of the Tribal Council of the Delaware Tribe of Indians to dismiss the pending complaint against Counselor Nathan Young. Now therefore be it resolved, the Delaware Tribal Council does hereby resolve to immediately dismiss the complaint filed against Counselor Nathan Young by Tribal Member D. Ketchum.
Actually, if it please you, Chief, I think it was actually signed by Vernon Crawford.
I didn't get a
That
copy of
was
that.
correspondence about the complaint that you're speaking of, Councilman Young.
It was signed by her.
Are you,
I'm moving to amend it.
amend
The resolution.
the resolution to reflect that?
And I think also we amended it to, I think that maybe the copies people have may say petition, but we amended it to say complaint on the one that'll be signed. It won't say petition, it'll say complaint. Verna's got her hand up.
Vernon?
Chief and Council, it was my understanding that that complaint was heard and felt that it was non-actionable by the previous council and would not be considered further. That was my understanding of what happened. But whatever you guys decide to do, you know, it's your business. But I was just, from what I remember, and I can go back to my notes, it was heard, found to be unactionable, and dismissed as far as I was concerned. A letter was sent out under my name. I okayed the letter. I should not have until I read it, but that was the understanding. That's as far as that was going to go, and just to be left.
Was there ever a motion?
I'm not positive on that.
I've never found any in any minutes.
Right.
So I just think we need to act on this resolution just to make sure that it's put to rest.
Like I said, I just wanted to clarify that the previous administration did not feel that it was anything to carry forward.
Right. Thanks, Vernon.
How about we amend it where it says the Counselor Nathan Young, period?
I don't have a problem with that.
Well, I might add that Dee dropped that anyway. So it is a.
We can find no paperwork, though, on it, anywhere.
Some things matter, some things don't. I mean,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
The motion's been made and seconded to approve this resolution as amended. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I abstain.
I abstain also.
2 abstentions. 5 yes. Heard. There was a possibility of
Resolution.
49. Sorry. Would the secretary please read the title? And now therefore be it resolved of Resolution 2014-49.
A resolution of the Tribal Council of the Delaware Tribe of Indians to mandate the return of all tribal assets by terminated DFMS employees. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Delaware Tribal Council does hereby require the return of all tribally owned equipment, vehicles, computers, tablets, cell phone, etc., by all terminated DFMS employees. Items need turned into the Tribal Operations Manager no later than 5 p.m. Friday, December 5th, 2014, or legal action will be filed. These items need returned with all data, regardless of personal or business, undisturbed. Any item put on a tribal asset immediately becomes the property of the Delaware Tribe of Indians.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. Bo what?
Yeah, push the button.
Earlier, we detailed what was needed from people as a tribal council, and you mentioned Service Pros and this and that. What exactly are you looking for from DFMS employees? I have one right here in the audience with me, and I was just curious what you're looking for.
Bo, I think they're only talking about any tribally owned property.
Okay, and what might that be? I'm an ex-DFMS employee. I guess I'm included in this. I was just curious as to.
But if you don't have anything, then it wouldn't pertain to you.
Well, tell me what I'm supposed to have.
We don't know.
Okay. Well, oh, you don't know?
I don't know what you had. That's why
Well,
I know there's a
how about-
vehicle.
How about anybody? Could you kind of give us an idea of what?
Vehicles, computers, laptops, cell phones that belong to the tribe.
And
If
so-
you have any of those that belong to the tribe, they need
Since
to be returned.
DFMS was a separate company, an entity within itself, they provided their own equipment. Nothing came from the Delaware Tribe of Indians. And number two, we had nothing at Caney. We had to scrap, borrow, get from Phillips Petroleum to donate. We had nothing, absolutely nothing to work with.
True, and you were under the tribal council, so all of that belongs to the tribe.
Not originally. Not originally. That was just recently happened in 13. In 12, we were not under the control of the Delaware tribe. So
Were they purchased with
what was purchased? We don't know.
Vehicles,
we don't know what
laptops, cell
and
phones.
if you haven't purchased anything?
we.
Then I would
Me
say that-
personally, no. I never
Okay,
purchased
you
a
have
thing. Yeah.
nothing to worry about.
Okay, that was my concern. is that
Right.
If you have purchased something,
I got
you need
nothing.
strength.
I have nothing.
Okay.
There we go.
Then we don't need anything back from you.
Pretty
then.
much the rest of the guys too. They had nothing. Nothing was purchased on their behalfs. They have nothing.
I know there's a vehicle.
That went back to the creditors, is what I understand.
When did that happen?
I'm not really sure. I think during the last administration, that went back to the finance company. That's just what I'm told. Now, I can't
It was
really
sitting
talk
at
about
the tribal building up there a couple of weeks ago.
last administration, it went back to the finance company. I guess you can ask John Sumner, he has that information. It was on his Facebook page.
Okay.
And you are very aware of what happens on Facebook.
I
right?
am,
So
though. Thank you.
know.
I know.
You can look and see. So, but I thank you for your time.
Well, that makes sense to me. If you said that last week, you said that they were insolvent and bankrupt, so if their property had to go back to the finance company, that makes sense, doesn't it?
No.
It
It
doesn't.
doesn't? Oh, okay.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all, since the Delaware Tribe of Indians wholly owns DFMS.
A bankrupt.
Now,
insolvent company.
you know, I'm not accusing anybody of taking anything.
Well, I'm not
But-
either. I don't see how if you're insolvent and bankrupt, then the finance company would come after all your stuff, maybe. Is that not right?
Well, we're just gonna do a title search on that vehicle, and
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about it. I didn't even know they had any
Bo's
business.
got his hand back up, Chief.
Bo,
There are 2 trucks that did make it from Caney back down here to Bartlesville, an F-250 white Ford, and also a Ford Ranger. Now, those also have notes on them at this current time, and Jim Creed signed promissory notes for those at a dealership in Wichita. And they are tagged and taxed in Montgomery County.
I have a
So-
question.
Yes, ma'am.
Which terminated employee were those 2 vehicles in possession of?
They were at the DFMS employees'
Right, but who
use.
were those vehicles assigned to that were
They
being
kinda went, you know,
terminated last week?
They just, they're here now. He was able to get those back here, and they should be around back, and that 250 was parked.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah, and he was in the process of also returning those to the dealership in Wichita when this happened. So that he had no, you know, he had, his name was on the line for those vehicles, because there was a big misunderstanding about tribal trucks and this and that, and back when Vicki Bratton was head of housing, she was gonna grab back the trucks and this and that, and finally Jim was forced to buy $27,000 for the 4-door truck and another so many thousands of dollars for another Chevy from money that was from the Mazda or something, so they had to pay back this and that, blah, blah, blah.
What was your position at DFMS?
Document retention.
Okay.
So, you know, just in general, there are 2 other vehicles out there that he signed promissory notes on, and I hope that you guys either make the payments or send them back to Kansas, you know, because his name is on the line for those.
So just to be clear, he had 3 total vehicles in his name only?
No, they were not in his name, but he signed like a secondary note to say that he would guarantee the payments on these vehicles.
So
It's like a
the
cosigner.
notes-
Like
Yeah,
a
the notes,
cosigner, exactly.
the notes were to the DFMS or to the tribe?
These notes were on DFMS's books, yes.
Okay, and then he was secondary signature cosigner.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so we still need to do a title search on that other vehicle then to make sure where it is.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Let
you.
me sh-
Joe Brooks, is it?
We going to,
Joe Brooks.
no, I'm sorry. Didn't see you, Joe.
I'm
Sorry
sorry.
to ignore you.
I think everybody can hear me. How can you list something as an asset if it's got a lien on it? It was listed on Delaware Facilities Management profit and loss as an asset. I don't believe that'd be legal if it's got a lien on it.
Right, well,
Does the
that's,
council intend to look into this?
we're going through all those books right now.
Thank you.
Joe, I anticipate that law enforcement will be involved in this.
Call for question.
The question's been called. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passed and resolution passed.
We have executive session on the agenda.
Yes, we have executive session on the agenda. Is it appropriate to ask the audience if there's anything they wish to have discussed in executive session? I don't know the answer to that question. I'm asking this council.
No.
I was going to say, I think they need to contact and get on the agenda for that. This is a special meeting. Jan's got her hand up, Bo's got his hand up, and David's got his hand up.
I'm gonna recognize Jane first.
Thank you, Chief. I just thought I would comment on Joe. Oh, I'm sorry.
We can't hear you, Jan.
Excuse me, I'm loud enough,
You're
but I'm not loud enough.
not as loud as Joe.
I realize that, no one is. Okay, I also have had a business, and I know that if you have property, even if you have a note on it, the property goes into your assets, and then you have the note against it, because usually the note is not as big as the asset is worth. And he's run a property, he's run a company, he ought to know that, I'm sorry. And you guys should know that too.
We just discussed that, we cannot agree that he was
But
wrong.
it's kind of a moot point at this time, so.
Well, I didn't hear
Okay.
that back
All
there,
right.
so
Okay.
I had to, it was driving me.
Okay, thank you, Jan. Who else had their hand up? Bo?
Yeah.
Did you have your hand up?
I was just curious. Last Monday,
But
Last Monday when Nathan Scalala and I were talking to you and Chief Bonnie, we were supposed to get a letter in the mail by now. It's been a week later and we have.
I said I thought you would. I don't know. Mike Taylor, I will talk with him in the morning
Okay, yeah.
and see what.
Yeah, Nathan was just curious
Okay.
about his termination,
Okay.
why he was terminated.
Okay.
As was I, as was Jim Creed.
Okay.
So,
And of course-
curious.
As we've been told before, Oklahoma's an at-will state, so.
So we've got 7 days now, and now we've got another 7 days to
What do you
where we need to address the contracts by all three gentlemen that were presented to the tribe.
Oh, the
there's
contracts.
a 14-day clause on those, so
Yes.
we've got 7 more days, so.
Is everybody aware of the contracts?
I briefly was able to look at them, but
There have been 3 contracts. You want to explain it, Chief?
yes, Bo Watt, Jim Creed, and Nathan Scalal have presented contracts that were for 5 years if they were terminated, they would receive, I think, 1 year's salary. However, these contracts were signed on October the 1st, 2014, and were not approved by the Delaware Tribal Council, or in fact even mentioned to the Delaware Tribal Council. Other than that, I can't really make any comments other than to acknowledge that yes, we have received them. Would any other council member wish to make a comment about it?
And you didn't mention there's only one signature on them, which was Chief Pachonic's signature. There were no other signatures on those, and they were dated 1 month before the election.
I would just recommend you ship them to our lawyer.
We did ship them to our lawyer.
Okay, thank you.
Were there any other comments or questions? I apologize. I have got to get me some new glasses. I've had these about 3 years, and I can't see hands go up anymore. David Frenchman.
Yeah, I was curious.
Push the button on there, David.
Yeah, I was curious. Now that everybody's fired, what do you got doing work around here?
David? All the workers for DFMS, besides Jim and Bo and Nathan Scala, have been moved under the tribe. And I know they had a meeting with housing, I believe, today, and some of them are working in Chelsea and some of them are working in Bartlesville. We did not do away with DFMS, and we did not terminate 13 people.
Well, I've been waiting for Nathan to call me for work. So who do I get a hold of him?
Would that be Curtis?
Yes.
You'll speak with Curtis and let him know you're available when something comes up.
Thank you, David. You want to go into executive session?
I'll make a motion, we go into executive session.
Let's do the membership out there, the favor of going into the chief's office.
Yeah, we'll go into the chief's office, yeah. Oh, we didn't ask for a vote. Oh, Joe has his hand up.
Joe Brooks.
Is reason for executive session personnel issue.